Star is a symptom of a larger issue. And if Jeffree Star apologized for that today, it wouldn't fix or remedy the larger issue of colorism, erasure, and bias in the beauty community. You're taking your color Jeffree off the shelves. How great would it be if you not only take that off, but you Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I really want to thank everybody who liked, subscribed my last videos. I really do appreciate it. So the Jeffree Star KatVonD controversy has kind of come to a fever pitch. The biggest video on this channel has been the Makeup by Shayla Jeffree Star controversy. I found his statements in that fight to be ridden with anti-blackness, with misogyny. I made the pointed decision not to talk about his past because I thought what he did there, it was evident there were some really negative feelings there that had to do with anti-blackness or racism for this point. Seeing even more videos, seeing him chase women down the street, calling them the N-word, calling for somebody to beat up an ape, and even seeing the video of him suggesting, even if in farce, that a black woman throw battery acid on her skin so her foundation would match. Those types of statements coming to light, I think it's important for him to really come out and apologize specifically for the things he said that hurt people, because those are hurtful things to say. Those are very hurtful and racist things to say. So I wanted to make an open letter to KatVonD and the wider beauty community because I think it's great that we're calling this out now that bigger YouTube influencers and brand owners are starting to disassociate themselves from brash and hurtful bullying and racist actions. But I think there's something that we're actually missing here. I think there's a piece to the argument, not only in how we approach issues like this, but also how we move forward from this. So as to Jeffree Star, really the only thing that I don't really have much to say about it other than, these videos are coming to light. We all have a past, we all have, skeletons in our closet, but it's always owning up to it and owning up to it and apologizing to those we hurt really allows us to move forward. He uses his platform to kind of make excuses, but I think he has instructed people to somehow go on his timelines on other social media platforms to find these apologies that supposedly exist. Simply taking pictures of yourself with black women is really a hollow gesture when you won't apologize for the specific reasons why people are upset. Before I get to what I need to say to KatVonD, the one comment that a lot of people seem to, from the videos I've seen, from the tweets that I've seen, the comments that most people are taking offense to, and that's people of color and non-people of color, are the telling a black woman to throw battery acid on herself so that her foundation will match, to lighten her skin so her foundation would match. I think that kind of reveals a larger issue. And if Jeffree Star apologized for that today, it wouldn't fix or remedy the larger issue of colorism, erasure, and bias in the beauty community. So what I want to say first is, okay, how are we as consumers, as YouTubers, as business owners being complicit in a system that shows that it does not value women and men with darker skin? When you have makeup brands that consistently come out with foundation lines that dark women and men of color couldn't dream of wearing, couldn't even imagine putting on their skin, how do you think that makes us feel? So while you're not saying lighten your skin to fit us, there is no place for us in these brands. There's no sense of belonging. There's no sense of camaraderie. I have receipts. So I don't want to single out this one company as if they're the only perpetrators of this, but Tarte Cosmetics, with their foundation line, have consistently come out with colors that do not suit darker women of color. Black and brown people who have darker complexions cannot necessarily fit into Tarte's range from fair to deep honey. So for example, I just want to give you a swatch, and I'm gonna look at my notes a little bit because I want to get it right. So in their Amazonian Clay full coverage count foundation, they go from a fair color, a fair tone, to a rich honey tone. Both in my closest Ulta and Sephora stores, the deepest color they hold from the Amazonian Clay foundation is called Deep Sand. In their new Rainforest of the Sea foundation, the deepest tone that they carry both in stores and online is Deep Honey. The first shade I'm going to swatch for you is the Rainforest of the Sea Deep Honey. And I'm sure hopefully you can see that. And then the darkest shade that my Ulta and Sephora carry in their clay foundation is Tan Deep Sand. So I actually tweeted Tarte Cosmetics about this, and I'll show a screenshot of the tweets. But I asked them, particularly for the Rainforest of the Sea, I showed them a video of me trying it on, and how there's no amount of blending that it would make that color match me. And it may look different in this lighting, but I mean, I put it on and it looked like I was just ashen. So I tweeted them that, and they said what most companies say, oh, we'll add shades after this, which is all fine and good, but it kind of indicates to particularly dark women and men of color that we are an afterthought, that we're not the default for wanting to enjoy these products. And the beauty industry is a $380 billion industry worldwide. That includes men, women of different ages, body types, and yes, skin colors. So we have to take that into consideration when brands have representation both in front of the camera and behind the camera, and especially in the products that they give people. Now I will say Tarte Cosmetics has done a partnership with Makeup by Shayla. It is a contour palette, but another thing I said, in my Sephora store, my local Ultas and Sephoras, this is the darkest, the Tan Deep Sand is the darkest color that they offer in stores. And you can buy the other ones special online, but you can't swatch them in store. You can't test them out, and it makes you less likely to buy them or be able to get your hands on them. I really want you guys to take it for what it is inclusion. We really want to feel included, and Tarte Cosmetics is not the only brand. I went through the full range of their products, their BB creams, their powders. Their deepest color is Rich Honey. I've never been able to swatch it. I've never ever seen it in stores. I would love to see if it works, but again, even if it fit me, there are women of color, Indian women and men, there are black women and men who are darker than me or have different undertones than I do, and it's really frustrating to see like a full range of products that offer coverage for fairer skin tones with all different ranges of undertones, and we get one kind of orangish color that we're supposed to all fit into. Both Indian, Latina, black, all of them are supposed to just fit into this cookie cutter shape. So I find it particularly ironic that a line called Amazonian Clay arguably couldn't fit the skincare needs of an Afro-Latina or a darker Latina in that area, in that region. And just so you know, this brown dress, this dress is a nude for me. I need jewelry or something. This dark brown powder is what a bronzer looks like for me. So a bronzer, a foundation, a nude is going to be different for people of different skin tones, but a lot of darker skin tones are not accommodated for. So back to my open letter. So I first want to thank KatVonD for coming out and stepping out against this. She's probably the most powerful and influential person who has come out and taken a stand against Jeffree Star. A lot of people have really taken umbrage with his comments directed specifically at black women. So for this case, I want to thank you for coming out and saying that. It's one thing to call somebody out, but I know people are asking him the question, what do we do about it? So Jeffree Star doesn't seem like he's going to apologize. And like I said, even if he does, it doesn't fix the larger issue of inclusion in this industry. As a way to show how you are severing ties and disassociating from Jeffree Star, you're taking your color Jeffree off the shelves. So how great would it be if you not only take that off, but you replace that color with a collaboration with a beauty influencer from the group that his terrible statements were directed at? How great would it be, for example, to take down Jeffree and replace it with a Jackie O or Jackie Aina for people who don't know. I really want to thank you, Kat. It really meant a lot, and I hope these words get to you. A lot of people came back and felt that my words and the words of other people were valid after you said it, and that can't be overlooked. So it really meant a lot. Thanks. I know it was not easy. To beauty influencers and YouTubers, how do we make a change from that? So how do we change? We're rightfully outraged, but I wonder, the biggest test to see if that outrage is real is our ability to do something about it. So we have a larger issue of inclusion in the nation. A conversation is happening nationally. We have like Donald Trump saying all these divisive things, and it's one thing to be outraged about it, but how are we going to put our money where our mouth is, like at the ballot box, and what we say or do, and how we speak out against these terrible things that this person is saying? Because I'm going to say it, Jeffree Star is kind of like the Donald Trump of the beauty world. Like, he has a problem with Mexicans and black people, and you know, he basically, his pictures with black women is essentially like, look at my black person. It's very hollow when he won't apologize for the specific things he said. The lighting changed because my battery went away. For beauty influencers and YouTubers, I think it's great that more and more people are coming out and speaking out against Jeffree Star's comments, both in the past and in the present, whether it's racist comments or his bullying. But I think that there's something that beauty influencers can do too. If you're speaking out against the colorism of throwing battery acid on someone, I think it's important to understand what colorism is. There is an entire portion of the beauty industry that is dedicated solely to lightening skin of dark-skinned women and men. Their sole purpose is to provide hope for those with dark skin that they may one day be noticed. In Asian countries, a company called Fair and Lovely is notorious for this, and they're essentially promoting skin bleaching. Skin bleaching is a thing, but Fair and Lovely is a real company that makes millions of dollars a year telling people with dark skin that they can fix them by making them lighter. And I'm going to put one of their terrible videos in the bottom. They're based out of India, and I want, so maybe you can understand why this may hurt on another level for people of color. Secondly, we're clamoring for these beauty brands, Korean beauty brands, and we reviewing black-owned products as passionately as Korean-owned beauty craze. I see influencers like Alyssa Ashley. Alyssa Ashley has a really great challenge where she does her makeup only using black-owned brands. That's a really great promotion, and there are really great quality black-owned brands. Much like the bronzer I showed you earlier, Shea Moisture, that make great products. Are we reviewing those and creating a space for black women? It's one thing to step out against more obvious exclusion, more obvious racism, but are we challenging ourselves to fix the harder issues, the ones that are harder to spot, the ones that we're comfortable living with? Are we going to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations to see how we might have unconsciously or consciously excluded certain women of color? I'm already anticipating the blowback that black-owned businesses are somehow racist. If we can sing the praises of a new Japanese skincare line that unlocks the secret of the geisha, we can indeed celebrate black-owned brands with the same enthusiasm. And lastly, for consumers, how are we holding brands accountable? Like, I can go on Instagram right now and I see brands that have Khalees singing in the background for their mini beauty tutorials and Missy Elliott rapping in the background, but if I look at all their beauty tutorials and videos, I don't see a single dark-skinned woman of color, not even black, Even if I do see them, it's a small portion and not a reflection of the people who exist in this country, who exist worldwide, or even consume their products. Are the dark-skinned women on their page just their mouth, just their arm, or do they have their full face showing? It's okay that even if you're not a color, to call out a company for not having a good color range when they debut these foundation lines. We're consumers. We are part of a huge billion-dollar industry, and consumers have a whole lot of power. We have power, and it's time that we wield it to make it a more inclusive space. I made this video because my only fear is that we're taking the easy, more obvious route and calling out Jeffree Star without addressing the wider issue of racism, anti-blackness, and colorism. Comments below, I'm gonna put hashtag Jackie Aina for FOR, hashtag KatVonD. And I encourage you guys, if you know black women of color or black men of color who are great influencers that you think could collaborate with KatVonD, possibly, I want you to leave down in the comments. I want you to put on Facebook, I want you to put on Instagram, all three of you who will participate. We are part of a $3 billion industry, and we need to look no farther than ourselves in order to make a difference. So I really thank you for watching. If you like it, you're free to subscribe. I need to go eat now. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.